Okay, so this is Math-7 Proportionality Packet, page 14-15. Okay, this page is from Engage New York, Lesson 5, 7th grade, Module 1. The question is, determine whether or not the following graphs represent two quantities that are proportional to each other. Give reasoning. Okay, so you have a graph that looks like this. This is graph A and then graph B. Okay, so in order for you to determine whether two graphs are proportional to each other, well, there are two questions that you need to ask yourself. Okay, so the first question is, do the points here line on a straight line? Okay, so if you look at graph A, it looks like it's a straight line, but at home, when you have a ruler, place a ruler there on the points to see if all the points there lie on a straight line. Okay, so now you can see in graph A, all the points, they lie on a straight line. And in graph B, they also lie on a straight line. Okay, so I would say yes and yes on both counts, but there is one more question. So here is yes to both. So yes to both graphs. And now look at the second question then. Okay, so the second question is, does the line pass through the origin 0, 0? Okay, you look at the first graph here. This line, it looks like it passes through the origin, but then when you look at graph B, the line is missing the origin by quite a bit. So in other words, graph A shows you a proportional relationship, but graph B does not. So proportional is A, but not for B. Okay, so always remember to ask yourself those two questions. Do the lines lie on a straight line? And also, does the line pass through the origin? Okay, so next problem. Okay, this is number 2. Create a table and a graph for the ratios 2 to 22, 3 to 15, and 1 to 11. Does the graph show that the two quantities are proportional to each other? Explain why or why not. Okay, so let's plot them all. The first one is 2 to 22. Okay, and the next one is 3 to 15. And the last one is 1 to 11. Okay, you know, I actually want to put them in order, so I'm just going to change a little bit. Okay, so now it looks much better. Well, when you were working on constant proportionality, when I gave you a whole bunch of graphs and asked you whether they're proportional or not, you should realize that there should be a relationship between the two columns here when you plot all the numbers in that table. So just ask yourself, now 1 times what gives you 11? And you know that is 1 times 11. And then 2 times what gives you 22? 2 times 11 gives you 22. Okay, so it's looking good so far. But then when you look at the last one, 3 times what gives you 15? This is 3 times 5. So it is showing you the last one is not a proportional relationship. Because if this was proportional, it would have been 33 here for y instead of 15. So now you can answer that this graph is not showing a proportional relationship because the last value, when x equals 3, y should be 33 instead of 15. Okay?